Hi, Ren. Now let's go through another question here. So this question is there's a NeetCode platform that you can use. Problem is called Encode and Decode strings. So let's start with this one. Design an algorithm to encode a list of strings to a single string. So list of strings to string. Okay. The encoded string is then decoded back to the original list of strings. Please implement encode and decode. Example 1. Input NeetCode value. Output NeetCode value. So given input. Right. So the input and output are the same because it is encoded and decoded into the same string. Okay. And here it says that string length, the str, the list length is between 0 to 100, and the string length is between 0 to 200. So I think in this case, if we just append all the string in the list into one string, it kind of works because it's not that much. It will become roughly a string of 20,000 characters. And here it says that it contains only UTF-8 characters. So what are UTF-8 characters? Let me just Google it. Characters. UTF-8 character. UTF-8 is a character encoding standard used for electronic communication defined by Unicode standard. The name is derived from Unicode transformation format 8-bit. Almost every web page is transmitted as UTF-8. UTF-8 supports all 1 million. So that will be 2 to the power of 8, which brings us to roughly that is 8-bit. calculate 8-bit 2 to the power of 8. Okay, so here I got the byte map, the UTF-8 character. Okay, so I think here we would need a separator in some sense that is not inside the UTF-8 character. So how are we gonna do this? Alright, I think I understand the problem now. I'm thinking about possible approaches. And I think it would be straightforward in this problem because we could just, as I said before, we could just append all the string into a single string, but then we need to have a separator between two different strings so that when we decode it, we can get back the list of characters. And based on the separator, we could split out the single string into multiple strings, i.e. the list of strings of the input. So we now need to find out a way so that we can tell the separator apart from the characters in the string, which is UTF-8. It means that we need something that is outside the UTF-8. I'm wondering if space, like a special character like space, tab, new line, or /0 is inside the UTF-8. Can I assume that they are not inside the string? Okay, let me just Google it. Is UTF-8. I think what we can do is say using the example. Easy NeetCode love you can encode it into neat and then some special character code love you, and then this will become neat code love you. So that's what. And then the second one is we say yes colon yes. This will become we say temple yes. And then this will be decoded back into we say colon yes. Yeah. Okay, I would like to try one thing. Just quickly Python online compiler, then train to see what this new output. Oh, I think I got an idea now. So I'm thinking that instead of finding a special character, we could just append at the beginning how long the next string that is coming to us. So for example, in our first example, we would decode it into for neat for code. But then this might lead into a problem when we have okay, let me create another test case. In the third test case, we have P1 for code. Well, I think how about we add another stop so that for dot code for dot look, then for dot u, no, sorry, 3 dot u. And then in the second one we will have 1 dot 3 and then 1 dot 1. The second example will have 2v 2 dot v 3 dot save 1 dot colon 3 dot yes. I think this should work. Does that sound reasonable to you? If you're pretty good about this, may I proceed to program? Okay, right, cool. So first of all, I'm gonna look through all the string. So for s in, okay, I'm going to initialize for the encode type. I'm going to make it enc, initialize to an empty string. Then I'm gonna do enc plus equals the length as, and then I add the dot there, and then I add the string itself. This is what it looks like. And then when we decode it, you're gonna call create a list of strings, initialize to empty. Then we are going to go through all the characters in the S, the encoded string. Then I'm gonna try to get the what's that? Integer. So what I can do is well, this may be a bit more complicated than I expected. So let's say we look at the first example. We have 4.net. So the first part are all integer, and then we will have a dot and then followed by the string. So what we need is we need to check whether the current string is integer, and then as long as it is an integer, then it is part of the string length. And then once we encounter a dot, then that indicates the end of the string, the end of the string length. Got it. So I think I got some ideas. I think what we can do is, while we look through all the strings, you could check. So we will have two strings. First is the count, with the length, and then the next one is the string itself. So first of all, we are gonna store it into the string, the length string, and as long as it is between 0 between 0 character to 9. Then we're gonna append it into our length. As length, the append C. And then once this is dot, then we start to append. Then we loop through until the I. The I is the length of C. Alright, so first of all, once we encounter the dot, we could say the string length equal int as length. Right. So if it is integer, then we can use it in our next iterations. Right. Or we could just create a new one. So I'm gonna call it. This one needs to. This one needs a very meaningful character so that we don't get confused and think about some ways. Okay, I think I got some idea. I'm just gonna call it. So here, first of all, I'm gonna call it str as length. No, str length. No, I'm gonna call it length in string. Okay, so length in string, call length in integer. Then I'm gonna check if length integer is larger than 0. Then I'm gonna append it into our current string. Okay. Then I'm gonna decrease the length that I need. After that, actually I can do it instead. Once the length of int is 0, then it is passed out. Then we have found our string, right? So thus, the next iteration we are working on a new string, meaning that this one needs to be reset to empty one. Okay, I think this would work. So let me go through the example. So let's start the 1.3. So 1, first of all, the length of int is 0. Then the length of string is empty. Then we see the 1. We're gonna start with that. Update it into 1. And then there is a dot. So we set this back to 0. And then the length, we pass it into the integer part. Then we're gonna record the string, which is 1 character, which is 3. And then we continue it to be 0. Then the length string becomes 1 again. Then it becomes 1. Then we append a new string, which is 1. Yeah. So we got back our original string. How about there are 2 digits of the string length? So let's say we have 10 dot a, then that is 10a. Okay, so len in the len string, the s. So len in is start with 0, then the len string start with 1, and then 10. This will reduce it into 0, and then we update the len string into 10. Then we record all the a. Okay, that is 0. Okay, I think I'm pretty confident that this should work. May I proceed to coding? Yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna initialize a string here, which stores our answer, and then we're gonna need a len string initialize to empty, and then len of int initialize to 0, and then the s string also initialize to empty string. Then we will start iterating through all the characters. Firstly, we check if len int, then we will append it. Let's call it current dot append c. Then I'm gonna decrease the len because we have recorded one of them. At the end, if the len of int equals 0, then we appended our current string into our output, meaning that we have got through the full string of the current one. Then we're gonna continue because we are done with the correct character. Right. Then the next check is whether the current string is a dot. So if it is a dot, then we can set len in, and then the len string equals int. We convert the len string into an integer, and we reset the current length of string. Very important. Now we did not set the current to empty yet previously. So the current we need to reinitialize into empty string. Okay. Then this should work. So let's go to the example that we have. Alright, let me quickly walk through the code to make sure I haven't missed anything. In the encoder part, I'm gonna initialize an empty string. Then I'm going to go through every character, every string in that. Gonna append the length of string, append a dot, and append the string itself. Okay, then I'm gonna return the encoder. So for the encoder part, encoder complexity is O of, well, the length of string, how many characters in the length of string, which is at most like 3, because the string length is at most 200, so 3 times n plus m is the sum of the length of all string. Okay, so this is m. This could be optimized to, this is the same like all n plus m space. And then the time is the time to construct the total string, which is also the same. Okay, and the decoder part, we have here the output list that we want to return, and then there is also the length of string in initialized as string, then the length of A initialized to 0, the current string initialized to empty string. Then we go through all the characters in the string. If there is a length of int, it means that we have found the next string that we need, the length of the string that we need. So we append the character into our curve, and then we decrease the length of int. Once we have the length is 0, we're gonna append our curve string into part of our solution, part of our final solutions. Then we reset the curve string into empty character, empty string. Once we're done, we just continue. Okay, so I forgot here. We need to record it. Length of string dot append C. Okay. So if character is a dot, then it means that the part of the string that is part of the length of the string, the substring of the string length stops there, meaning that we have found the length of string. Now we just need to convert the string length into integer. Okay, so this one is wrong. Set the length string to, so reset it. It's kind of transferring the length string into length int, right? Otherwise, it is if it is not a dot, then that will be part of the range string in. Then the substring that the current character is part of the string length. Then we continue it like that. So in this here, what we will have is it's still the same complexity because you need to go through everything same time and space complexity. Right. Now let me test the code with this input to make sure it works as intended. First of all, I will have NeetCode love view, and then this will transform into for code, for love 3 and 3. Then I will go to the character which is 4. First of all, the length is 0, then we check if it's not, then we append it our character. Then the next one is a dot. Once it is a dot, then we set the length into 4, and then reset the 4. Then the next time we will need to read in 4 character as part of our solution, and so on and so forth. So I think this will work. Let me just quickly code it into our NeetCode platform. So ENC, just call it ENC, okay, fine. S, STRS, then C plus equals the length of S plus a dot there, then plus the string itself, return ENC. Then I'm gonna call the same thing, create the STRS equals empty, length in string, let's call it decoder. Then we'll go through all the characters, in curve decode dot append C. Length in decrease by 1. Then length in is 0 now. Then found our solution, which is the decoder. Right. Then we need to reset the decoder into empty. Then we continue. Actually, you can just use the right click. Character is a dot. Then length in string this will be integer of the string, and this will be get to empty. Else, now this will be part of the string length string C and CRS. Okay, let me try to run it. Oops. What does it say here? STRS, okay. Careful in a string. Encode. Okay. So the length is an integer, we need to convert it. Okay. Second. String has no open. Okay. So we pass all the sample test case. Let's try to submit it. Hopefully we got it. No. Right, that is it. So edge case is very important. And now we dismiss it. So it cannot be empty. Okay. Right. So there is an edge case here. And it needs to be handled as soon as we know the length is 0. Okay. 0. Then we open open Decode. Then this should be good. Still no. Right, it's not str, it's strs. It's strs. Cool. We got it. Set the answer. And I think that should be it. Now remember edge case. Okay. Thank you everyone. Then we're gonna stop here.